Hello YouTube, welcome back to my games of Kerbal Space Program. My name is SSJGazhan99 and this is my tutorials for noobs on Kerbal Space Program. I am a noob myself. I'm getting to learn the game and this is part number 9 I believe, or 8 or something like that, I can't remember. But either way, I'm just going to show you my actual science log, what I've actually loaded myself. So in the last video, I believe the last one we had was this one, so we had the batteries and bits and bobs. I basically bought the extra science materials for the processing lab, the thermostat. I then bought the space plane parts so that I could build a space plane at some point. And I'm probably going to start buying into these things here because they give me lots of different options to do different things. But that's pretty much how my tree's looking at this moment in time. We go out. This mission today is going to be slightly it's going to be pretty much the same as last time, but with one slightly different thing. I actually had like 3 takes at this video, and unfortunately 3 sets of flights that didn't work. So this one I know works. I've tested it. I've reverted back and I've had to change some things because things fell off and blew up, and it was actually quite funny, but it was just an annoyance, and I guess you guys don't want to watch that when if you're looking for a tutorial to complete the missions. Right, so the first one, transmitting data from space around Kerbal. So gathering science data from around Kerbal, just transmit or recover science data around Kerbal, done, sorted. Basically what it means, you either transmit it back to Kerbal Space Center, or you can just bring the craft back and you're done. All you realistically need to do is get an EVA report and send it, and that's pretty much it. But you can do any sorts of science data, barometer or whatever, and it will complete that quest once you send it back to Kerbal Space Center. The other ones we are doing is the TR-18A stack decompiler landed at Kerbal. Again, the landed missions are very, very simple, very easy. It takes a little bit of fiddling around to get it to work properly, which is what I found to my dismay in the first attempt last time. Not much I could do about it, really. So I had to delete the video. The next one is to test the TT-18A launch stabilizers. Now, or stability enhancers, I should say, but they're basically stabilizers. Again, very easy. Just attach them to your ship, and away you go. I'll basically show you my build that I'm using to do all 3 missions in one go. I know this works because I've tested it as well. So, yeah, there you go. Right, okay. So I'm going to explain some of the little bits and bobs that I've put on the ship so that you guys can understand why they're there. Right. So basically, what we are testing this bad boy, these bad boys, and obviously the data on the transmission. So, right, now the reason I've got the Separatrons on there is because what happened in one of my test flights, this and this basically crashed into this, which blew out this, which means I couldn't activate my secondary engine, which would have got me into orbit. But you don't have to actually be in orbit to send the data back, so you don't necessarily have to worry about that. You could probably make this a slightly shorter spacecraft, and it will still get you up into space and transmitting data, which is probably what I'm going to do. I'm just going to complete the missions, bring them back, and away we go. So we're just going to go straight up, straight down, and away we go. So basically the way I've leveled this out, as always, I put this on here just in case it falls off for any reason and it won't damage that engine. So these decouplers will fire off first, so boom boom, that will complete that mission. When we engage these 2 big Rockomaxes, this will disengage, the Rockomaxes will engage, and it will send us up into space, and this will complete. And then it's basically a matter of getting into space, getting our science data, and away we go. So that's pretty much it. So it's about, as you can see, 17,015 Kuros to build this ship. It's not exactly an absolutely spectacular ship or anything. It's okay. I put the battery packs on there because I ran out of battery power pretty fast once the engine disengaged because of like this thing here. I believe these crashed into this here. So what I'm hoping is these Separatrons will basically boost the booster away. They will spin and pirouette away, and all should be well. So we'll save that. As you can see, these are relatively well set up. So when they disengage, that fires, Separatrons fire, and hopefully all will be well. Hopefully these don't cause any issues. Right, so away we go. So about 2 or 3 minutes in, I think we're about 2 minutes in, and we're already reset and ready to go. It's a night mission. As always, with anything you do, press T, and you should be good. Now, what I've also done is I've also put an inline stabilizer. It's basically like an SAS module to help control the ship a bit better for the SAS, which again drains power. Granted, it does drain power, but it's better than a sharp stick in the eye. Okay, so we've got these guys here. You can see them here. Now, you will see them complete pretty much. So in 3, 2, 1. There we go. That's the first one's gone. Second one, and away we go. There's 2 completed instantly. Not much I had to do really to sort of deal with that one. That's pretty good. Sorted. Alright, so now we do the same as always. We wait till we get into space, or at least up into the air, and we'll go from there. So hopefully, if all goes well, I've aligned these correctly so that they fire away from my ship. I think these fire away as well, so that should push them that way and forward. So when they go off, they will go off. So we'll increase throttle here. Same as always, as long as you get above 80,000 meters, you're pretty much in space. Wait till you get to the top and come back down from there. Okay, so in 3, 2, 1. There we go. Lovely jubbly. That was perfect. So let's bring ourselves round. Let's start tilting over. Lovely. That's perfect. Good control as well. Really easy to control. Let's throttle right up. In my test flight, this took me into space, even though it disconnected. Just this engine here took me into space. So, as I said, as long as your apoapsis is high enough, you're more than good enough to continue on. You could literally go straight up in the air and not have to worry about coming down somewhere else. But yeah, very simple, very simple, nice and easy. So 55, 6, 7, 60. So we'll get to 80,000 and we'll cut the engine. There we go. So nice and easy, just straight up in the air, cut the engine there. We are in darkness, unfortunately. Not a great deal I can do about that. We can time warp, possibly. Let's have a look, see how we're going, how we doing. Yeah, we can probably time warp right now. Let's speed this up a little bit. Don't want to be going too fast when we reach the apex. Just want to be into space. Let's bring it back down. So 75,000 meters, there we go. So all we need to do is right click, observe mystery goo, keep that data, right click, crew report, keep data, then we get Jeb, EVA, how's it going Jeb, you're a boss my son. We'll keep that data, right click as always, take data, store experiments, and then board. And then when you go into here, right click, review stored data, transmit data. And there's your quest completed. So as you can see, we've got a quest completed here. We're going to send that data as well. Yep, so that should be everything. Now we reach the apex. We can spin this around. Retrograde. Fire this bad boy up. See, realistically, I only really needed one engine for this mission. If I wanted to get into orbit, I could get into orbit. We'll just fire this one off. Might as well. Oh, let's see what's happening here. There we go. Let's just start falling. Let's fall quickly. See, nice and easy. It's not difficult at all to do. It's just a simple matter of that. Just get that in there. Let's bring that back down. Going pretty quickly there. So let's try and slow myself down a tad. Speed that up a little bit. Come down pretty quick. Nice and easy. Let's speed that up a tad. And that is that. Alright, so recover vessel. And we should have 3 missions completed. And that is part number 9. So nice and easy, nice and simple. It's not exactly hard to do. It was just a quick way of showing you how to do it. Again, as I said to you before, you could quite easily shorten that spacecraft down and still get into orbit. It's not necessarily in orbit, but we get into space to send that data. So thank you very much for watching. And as always, I'll see you next time.